Queens, I got four of a kind on everything. I gotta live like a king. Hey, catch this rhythm. You feel that? That's called playerism. I'm on the scene, a player clean, poker face, four queens. I got four of a kind on everything. Dig this, living elite. I don't feel complete without kicking at my feet in a Rolls Royce every week. Baby, this is deep. Listen close when I speak. I need to at least, cause I'm too much. I'd be a fool if I love him, You'll be a fool if you trust him, Here with my niggas, we keeping it gangsta. Yeah, I'm a slayer, I'm just keeping it player. I'm fucking her now, we're man eating it later. That's maybe why he is a hater. I'm wearing all black like I'm being a raider. You talk to police, we call you a traitor. I'm running the city, they call me for favors. I'm running the city, they call me the mayor. It's getting political with me, my street presidential, she dealing the Quit banging my line, ho. Quit banging my line, ho. When you see me act like you don't even know me, ho. When you see me act like you don't even know me, ho. Come on, baby, get a clue. How you do what you do? How do you fall in love with me, but I'm not in love with you? Peace to the saints! Peace to the saints! Peace to the saints. A member sent over this news about NLE Choppa breaking up with his 27-year-old girlfriend because the saint couldn't cheat in peace. Lady, let the man cheat in peace. You know, this is actually the perfect topic for me because I can relate. And this is real boss talk. I think most guys can't relate. And I'll tell you why. There are so many different topics we have to cover to really address this. Number one, most men have not the strength of character to look a woman in her eyes and tell her, I'm going to have you, and I'm also going to have some French fries on the side. And you can go or you can stay. It don't matter to me. What do you choose? Most men don't have the strength of character to do that. You know, one of the strongest positions in life that you could take is to tell the truth. Often we lie out of fear. We lie out of fear of losing a woman, losing what we have, or how people will react. So to tell the truth is a very strong position. And I encourage all men to always be in the strong position. And if you're tall, don't act small, you dig? So shout out to NLE for being honest, but I must add to that a lesson that I shared recently, which is that you're either dealing in truth or you're dealing in silence, because not everyone can handle the truth. There is a lot that we have to get into with this particular situation in male and female relations, and there will be much for you to learn because strike one. My understanding is he's 19, and we're going to look at his background a little bit just to make sure that we understand him as a character in this story and we understand the female as well. But I believe he's 19 years old, and I am certain that she is listed at age 27, which is far too old. I am NLE Choppa's senior, and I wouldn't mess with her. It's too old. It's too old. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Ricardo writes, another video, salute to you and the saints. Real leaders lead by example indeed. And you know, one of my efforts this month is to outdo all of the YouTubers. I find it challenging because I only want to talk about things that are interesting to me. But I really do want to get to a day where I get to 4 or 5 live sessions. That's my goal because I want to outperform these guys. And so I'm making every effort, but I can only do it based on topics that are meaningful to you. I want to make sure that I value both of our time. So let's take a little bit of background real quick on, who is NLE Choppa? And I have heard his name before. I'm not familiar with his music, but I have certainly heard his name before. So I'm going to go ahead and go through a little bit of information on NLE Choppa, just so that you guys know who we're talking about. And then I'm going to go through the information on the female, and I already know this is going to be funny. I have heard a little bit of NLE Choppa speak on YouTube, and one thing I can say is he speaks with what the old folks called sense. he got some sense. So that's a beautiful thing. NLE Choppa, government name Bryson LaShawn Potts. I don't know any black Potts. I don't think I know any white Potts either. I don't know any Potts, but that's a neat little last name. It's cute. Bryson, that's quite civilized. LaShawn, that's quite African American. Okay, got a little bit of balance here. Professionally known as NLE Choppa, previously known as YNR Choppa. Okay, that's curious. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis. I've been through Memphis. Not much there. I'm always happy to hear someone got out of Memphis because in my many travels, it is one of the places I was least impressed with. So I'm really happy that he got out of there. Not much there, but good folks. G44 writes, peace to the saints. When I was a child, I was molested by my cousin. I am now an adult man and want revenge. Everyone says forgive. What should I do? If possible, I would check the statute of limitation in your country. It appears that you're in the UK. If you can get this person locked up for a significant amount of time, I would absolutely give you my full blessing in doing that, because this person is a danger to society. And so certainly they should be locked up. If we find that the law in your country for some reason is somehow favorable and you're beyond the statute of limitation, or you might not be able to provide the necessary evidence, or they send them to therapy rather than prison or a death camp, then, hey, if you can find a way where you can get off scot-free or, get this done without putting yourself at risk, I think you'd be doing a good thing. Truth be told, when people say forgive, I mean, this is ludicrous. Not everything should be forgiven. I'm not saying that you should carry anger. I really hope that you don't carry anger, because indeed it is in the past. And as it is in the past, you don't have to hold that in your backpack and have it weigh you down in the present. So yes, in as much as for your own good, you don't need to forgive, but you can just let it be where it is, which is in the past. But in terms of dealing with this enemy, yes, I think if you can deal with this enemy, you should. Absolutely. I wish you much success in getting this done. Carrying on. Thank you for trusting me with such a serious piece of information. And may everyone wish much success for this saint doing the right thing, bringing justice. Solon writes, Mr. Burton, hope things are well. Things are fantastically well. Thank you for asking. Just wanted to thank you for your time and work you put in. You are the leader we all need. I really appreciate that. That does mean a lot to me. And I do find that the society today is in great lack of leaders. In fact, I was driving home last week and I pulled up to a stop sign and I saw a lot of political advertisements. And I was struck by the fact that it was all females. I was thinking, gee, that's strange. Number one, that's not even equality. That is disproportionate representation of the female, clear absence of the male. And ironically, in a position of leadership, which males are better suited for leadership in general, not always, in general, I was just quite saddened to see that that's the case. G44 writes, thank you, Saint. Your words are truly healing. I'm happy to hear it. And I'm glad that you've blossomed well into manhood. And I hope that you have most of your days be happy days. And again, if you can take care of this in a way that is safe for you, please do. Please do. Absolutely. Indeed. Harvey says, handle it well. 44. Good luck. Peace to the saints. Indeed. You will be in my prayers. And I hope that you're able to get that done as quickly as possible. And, make sure you calculate appropriately and do what you feel is right for you. The saint is doing a good thing. You heard me? NLE Choppa. So as I was saying, he's from Memphis. He rose to fame with a 2019 single. So he's actually recently famous. That's pretty cool. It was called Shotta Flow. It was certified platinum plus, platinum like my grill. On Billboard, very good. And then he came out with an EP entitled Cottonwood. Very nice. So essentially he's a rapper. And, Memphis has been producing some solid brothers. Shout out to the brothers coming out of Memphis. I've been very impressed, from Young Dolph to the cat with the forehead, Yo Gotti. And my boy with the receiver, but he's still sauced up though. I can't even remember his name right now, but he got some good bars. Memphis, I've been really impressed with Memphis. NLE has an African American father and a Jamaican mother. Jamaican, speaking the patois. You hear me? Anyways, how did Jamaicans make it way over to Tennessee? Okay, cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's him. He is a rapper, and he's from Memphis, and he recently became famous in 2019. And he has a daughter. Okay, so clearly he had the daughter quite early in life, in 2020. So I think he may have been 19 years old 17 years old when he had the daughter. There were a couple of times he was involved in a fight, and I was trying to do a little bit of research before this live session, and I did see that he was in an airport. It appeared that he was solo. And, you know, for you cowards, an airport is a great place to catch someone because, like, it's unlikely that they're strapped unless it's a private airport, and then they might be. But anyway, some coward caught up with him. Apparently, it was a fan of NBA YoungBoy, and the coward had his phone out, as a lot of these snitches do, and he's recording, and then he starts, you know, babbling at NLE, and eventually it ends up in a scuffle. It's really a pity that this has to be the experience of one who has fame, status, and wealth. But hey, you know, try people at your own cost. You know, these rappers have been quite nice from, I guess, rappers of the past. I don't remember anybody running up on DMX like this. The dog, you don't run up on the dog. You know, nobody was running up on the dog. You heard me? And then I think last time somebody ran up on Styles P, they got stabbed in the anus. Indeed. I mean, he did a little bit of time behind it too. Be careful, kids. Be careful. Anyway, so that's NLE Choppa. NLE Choppa. Now, who is this lady that he's dealing with? And we have her Instagram here. I'm going to go ahead and share that with you because from the appearance of the woman, I think we learned a great deal about the woman. This bitch right here. I texted this broad yesterday. This broad calling me today. First off, if I text you, don't call me. If I texted you, don't call me. Unless it's business. You heard me? If we need to go through some business, cool. But if it's social and I texted you, text back. Just follow the lead, baby. She thicker than a Snicker, but brain dead. What can you do? It get like that. It's often how it is. They be thick and dumb. They be beautiful and dumb. And don't know how to serve either. And that's what really bothers me is because you got so many internet nerds. They'll say things like, where are all the black women at? Well, they're not meeting minimum requirements. It's like every time I try to work with them, they keep disappointing me. I'm not going to accept a woman into my life because of the color that she's painted. It ain't going to work like that. You heard me? It's like me saying I like green cars and I'm going to drive the car because it's green, even if the engine doesn't work. No. Green's my favorite color indeed. But if the engine don't work, I'm not getting in the car. It don't go nowhere. Yeah. And anyways, here we are. Let's take a look at this young lady. Because I think her appearance is about to explain a lot to us. Here we go. Uh-oh. Already. Saints, pay close attention. Please pay close attention here. You are about to learn a lot. Okay, so this young lady, first thing I do when I look at a chick's profile is I'm like, okay, she has a check, so she feels like she's somebody. She may or may not be anybody, but she damn sure feels like she's somebody. She got her check. And my first thought is, what are the origins of this check? Did she get the check because she's associated with somebody more significant than her? 9 out of 9, that's the case when you're dealing with females, and that's okay. She is noted here as a public figure. Anytime people use the term CEO, I automatically think they're scamming because mostly they're not a CEO. Mostly they're just using this term. And it kind of hurts my heart having actually been one. You dig? Shout out to Mr. Mendez, comes in by PayPal, writes, peace to the saints. And thank you for supporting the work. Not everyone does. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and click this to see where that goes. Okay, so this is her company that she's the CEO of. And it's, quote, a place for bad bees worldwide fast shipping. Local delivery and pickup in ATL. Born to lose but built to win. That is such a negative quotation, and it's not even spelled out. Okay, Cool. So my first thought is, all right, you're running a fake business, and it's a fake business because you have significantly more followers than your business. And truth be told, unless you're selling yourself, the followers really should be collected on the business account, not your account, unless you're a product. Then I think it's a fake business because as I scroll through, number one, I don't know what the hell you're selling. I'm assuming clothing since you have a size chart here. And then I look at the clothes. Is that her? Is she like modeling her own clothes? She's like modeling all of the clothes. So that makes me think it's a fake business if you don't have other women modeling. It seems like we have a little bit of diversity here. That's good, but it looks like they're modeling at somebody's house. So this is completely unofficial. So I can see that this is essentially a fake business, and you want to say that you're a boss bee or you want to be an independent woman. So you want to have the appearance of business success without actually really doing business. Now, your other business is hair extensions. Oh, that's great. Unbelievable, because the thing that we need more of is phoniness and fakeness, and you're assisting these females in looking like someone that they're actually not. That's exciting. Oh, and you have a picture of your famous ex-boyfriend. And wow, you just went too damn far with the extensions. I mean, it's not even a realistic length at this point. Okay, thank you for just being unnecessarily fake. Got you. And let's see how many followers. Oh, only 2,000 followers on this one. So again, now I'm starting to wonder, did you buy your followers on your main IG? Because there's no way you're almost at 1 million followers. I repeat, you're nearly at 1 million followers, yet you have 2,000 followers on your business account. Something ain't right. You're scamming. She writes, Nas classic on a shelf full of trap music. Okay, so this almost made me respect her because she respects Nas, which would suggest that she has some level of brain cells, especially if she's not from New York. She's from Texas, Atlanta, perhaps. But when you capitalize every single letter, including the A, which basic English would let you know that you don't capitalize the A in a title. Now I'm like, okay, this is just a dumb broad. And most of them are. But these are the kind of things I analyze, and I do this to save myself time, because if you got strong hoe flow, you're dealing with a lot of women. You have to be able to, figure out which ones are worth your time. Also, looking at this picture, you can tell that she's had her body done, as they like to call it nowadays. What I would like to say is she's went under the knife of the surgeon and risked her life for her own vanity, which is quite sad. It's very obvious because her hips are too high. If you understand and have a good eye for female anatomy, you know that the hips don't sit this high. The hip bone is actually supposed to be closer to down here, but for some reason, the surgeons have the hip curve up here, and I think it's because of the Brazilian butt lift and the lifting of the butt, which I personally like mine, hanging and swinging. You heard me? I like it all jelly. But this weird era of everyone looking like a trans, this is what you're left with. Another thing is you are in a bathing suit, but you don't even appear to be at the beach or at a pool. So you're clearly just trying to show yourself half naked. So if that's cool to you, you're not cool to me. You're a thought. Dun, 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 super thought. Another one. And then I'm looking at your nails, and your nails are too long for you to really be competent at anything, which includes wiping your butthole. So you're a dirty broad. And not only are you a dirty broad from your nails and this dirt on your leg, which I think you're calling a tattoo, but you also are a race pretender. So you're over here wearing long blonde hair as though you're from Northern Europe when you're really from some ghetto in America. That's quite disgusting. And shout out to all of the imbeciles who wear blonde hair, and we know that you're not blonde. This includes the multitude of white women, Asian women, and Latinas who also wear blonde hair, and we know you're not blonde. We're in such a strange era where chicks will do fake stuff, and it's like they're not even trying to make it look real anymore. Quite sad to me. Anyways, so this broad then went from the long blonde to the short black to the curly black. She then went through 3 different races. She's like, I'm from Sweden. No, I'm from the Dominican Republic. No, I'm Jada Pinkett Smith off of Set It Off. It's like, damn, this broad is from everywhere. She's from every country, this one. And then got these little chicken legs, but then got the big butt that Dr. Miami then created. And then she has NLE. And this was actually his main piece. And I can't fault him because he's a youngster, right? He don't know any better right now. Hopefully he sees this video, soaks up some of this ism. But I'd frankly be embarrassed. I'd be like, you're a side bitch. Don't put me on your IG, please. Maybe put me on a story that disappears. But please don't just put me on your IG like that. You're a super side piece. Believe that. Shout out to the sprinter. I enjoy sprinters myself. These are 20s, so I'm done already. Yep. Please, like if you're going to boss up, please actually boss up in real life. Appreciate it. Carrying on. So anyways, this is basically a super thought, but here's the worst thing about this thought. And my heart goes out because at some point he clearly loved this thought. Now, number one, if you're a teenager, he's 19, you shouldn't be dating a chick who's 27 because that's way too old for you. In fact, generally, you shouldn't even be dating a chick who's the same age as you because women are so crafty and manipulative, especially if they're not good people. Now, here's the funny thing. You see, a woman who's a bad person is very dangerous because they might have intelligence. They certainly have female manipulative ability. And they're crafty. The female is not a creature that bases their advantage on physical strength. It must be of what the mind creates, and they can create stories, lies. They can weave, things around your mind and perplex you. They can exhaust you. Just argue and argue and argue and argue and argue till they win. So when you're dealing with a female who is older than you, you are in a situation like him. He's 19, she's 27. She got like damn near she got a decade of experience on how to befuddle the minds of men. And clearly she's a thought, AKA a prostitute. And her being a prostitute, she's known how to make tricks out of men. She knows how to extract from men. And you've barely been a man for but 2 years. So you ain't got a lot of practice. This chick is not out of your league in that she's above you, but she's above your pay grade in her ability to control, manipulate, and extract. So this is a very bad decision. And if I was his father, I would say, bruh, go ahead and smash and dash. Low key, I wouldn't even smash. I would just dash because from the looks of her, she looked like she'd been all around the world. She looked like she done been everywhere. You heard me? And she can't wipe her booty. Her nails too long. She's filthy. And even if she could wipe her butt, what about what's under those nails? She just has these long nails where filth and bacteria just gathers. It's vile. And then she has these long wigs, and we all know about wigs. Once you leave them in, you can't hop in the shower and shower your scalp because you got the wig in. You laced up. You stitched in. So she's a filthy animal. So I'd probably recommend that you dash her. She's filthy. But if you must, go ahead, smash her, then dash her. It sounds like the newest reindeer. Reindeer smasher, dancer, dasher, prancer. Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. It's the newest reindeer smasher. That's what I would have told him if I was his pop. You heard me? And then I said, this bitch too old anyways, bro. You 19. You heard me? How you going to have some more kids with her? She damn near dead. Come on, man. And more importantly, what does she want with you, bro? I'm not saying you ain't that dude. You are. But she 27. Why is she cradle robbing? This lets you know she has an ulterior motive. And if she's such a good person, why has everyone else passed on her? Why did no other guy want her? Why is she still available, like way past her prime? Like, why is she still available right now? Shouldn't she be married? Shouldn't she have some kids? Something's wrong with this one, bruh. Throw this one back in the water. Yeah. It's quite sick and sad. Like, he made a major mistake. And one thing I want to let you all know, in case you don't know, and why would you? People often think the grass is greener on the other side. Oh, you're famous, you're wealthy, you're going to get better women. Well, they might look better, but on the inside, they're surely not better. In fact, there are a great many women who are upright morally, reasonably good looking, have intelligence and character, and they don't want to deal with you because they know that a man who's in the spotlight has so much temptation. Or they don't want to live a public life. They want to live a private life. And for that reason, they won't deal with you. So just by mere fact of being in the spotlight, some women won't want to deal with you, the very best ones. And you're going to attract a disproportionate amount of super thoughts, like the one NLE end up dealing with. It's a pity. And also, ladies, can you stop getting them tattoos on your butt? Because when I'm like rubbing your butt, I don't like to feel like the raised skin from that ink being driven into your flesh. It takes away that soft flesh experience that I like. So if you refrain from getting the tattoos on your butt cheeks, I'd really appreciate that. Damn dirt bags. It's like, man, they just take the joy out of everything. They take the joy out of it all. What can you do? Looks like we're going to need to speed through this one. May I acknowledge Cole? He writes, NLE got on DJ Academics ASS the other day as well. And you know what? A lot of folks are, and it's almost like a good and bad thing, right? It's a good thing because dirtbags deserve to be disciplined and the truth should be put forward. But it also gives an irrelevant bum like DJ Fatademics more relevance just by mentioning his name. So it is a pity. And also Freddie Gibbs recently did a Funk Flex freestyle and ished on DJ, or shall we say Livingston Allen. So, you know, it's good to see, but it's also sad to see because someone like Livingston Allen should, you know, retreat into the dust bins of history, right? Doesn't really deserve any shine or acknowledgement. Deserves to be destroyed. But anyways, you now know the basics of who NLE Choppa is. You also know the basics of who Marissa Danae is. And I'm guessing that's not her full name. But clearly she's a thought and she's had a lot of surgery. And while we're talking about surgery, you know, funny story. I was actually, as I said, recently dealing with this turbo thick African-American woman. Happened to be a single mom. Caught me off guard with that one. She looked so young, and I guess she is young. Had the kid young. What can you do? But the funny thing is she spent so much time on her social media. I was just tripped out like, wow, you're a grown woman and you actually have kids. So you're like a real adult. And we're here. And for some reason, you're like showing me all your social media posts like they're fascinating and I'm interested. Like, number one, I'm not interested. And number two, they're not fascinating. And like, who are you again? Like, you're a random single mom. Like, why do you think that you have fascinating Instagram posts when all of your posts are just like selfies? It'd be one thing if you're like, look, this is when I was in the Maldives. Look, this is when I was on top of the Eiffel Tower. You're basically, look, I'm dancing here. Look, I'm dancing again. Look, it's a selfie of me. Look, I'm dancing again. Look, it's a selfie of me. I'm like, God damn, are you brain dead? Well, sadly, the answer is, Marquette, yes, I am. Marquette, yes, I am. Man, I be trying with the sisters. What the hell is wrong with them? Shout out to Neil. He writes, peace to the saints. Now, so we've looked at the chick who should have been a side piece and somehow magically became a main piece. There are three things we're going to look at today. We're going to look at a couple primary sources. Primary source number one, we're going to hear from NLE Choppa. It hurts my heart to have to play it because the young boy is verbose. You know, he's not getting to the points. I'm like, God damn, we got to suffer through this just to hear what the young man is going to say, but we're going to do it. And then we get to see the broad crying on social media. Clearly a plea for attention, clearly trying to get her likes and subscribers up, stay in the news, all that good stuff. And also probably sincerely crying because I let a good one go. I'm probably not going to find another rapper who's willing to deal with my old ass. Damn. You know, she's probably sincerely angry and hurt. Not as much from the relationship, just the loss of lifestyle and the loss of fame. Even though her IG followers are super fake, but it's all good. It happens. It happens like that. It happens. So let me go through this article real quick. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. This article is probably terribly written per usual, but let me just see if there's anything it can lighten up for us. Article is called NLE Choppa and his girlfriend broke up. Here's what happened. Relationship between NLE and Marissa was a spectacle while it lasted. Now it looks like they're no longer together. There was an announcement on Twitter about the split. And just side note, why are people announcing their relationships, whether it starts or ends? Like, I don't know why they're announcing it. It's just not necessary. I don't ever feel like I'll be famous enough that you care what I had for breakfast or that I'm dating some chick that you're not dating. You know, I don't know why it's so important. Anyways, unless they're running like a reality TV show and they're trying to example to you how best to live and how best to operate in family life. But let's be real. He's a rapper and she's a thought. So what are the chances of that? Minimal. TJ Too Smooth writes, peace to the saints. First time paying tuition. Proud to do so. Shout out. And, you know, I really want to share one thing I haven't shared with men is I want you all to be, not that this is a bill, but just I want to remind you all, because I know your parents may not have said this, but be happy to pay your bills. I'm not saying this is a bill, but I'm saying be happy to pay your bills because it's an honor. It's a privilege. there was a time I couldn't pay my bills. There was a time my family most of them still can't pay their bills. But one thing in poverty, I always used to watch folks, in my family, whether it's my mother or other folks, and they would seem to begrudgingly pay their bills, even when they had the money. And then I would watch the men in my life. My uncle, he paid the bill without a thought, because it's your responsibility. It's necessary, and you're paying for a service that you indeed are receiving. And I want to encourage you all to pay your bills happily, especially as a man. Pay them first and get it out the way. Anyways, he says, happy to do so. Question. It's been difficult lately for me to put action to my ideas, whereas in the past I would take action in a day's time. Any advice? Well, clearly there's been either a change in environment, a change in some circumstance, a change in your mindset, a change in the way you feel about yourself, or a change in the way you feel about the future, like your level of optimism or your self-belief. There's been a change there. And I would encourage you during your journaling time to try to identify what that is. Whether you identify it or not, you should then ask yourself, well, what do I want for myself tomorrow? Do I want to be left behind? Am I making progress? Is the person I'll be tomorrow better than the person I am today? And also realize that time is moving quickly. You will get older quicker than you expect. This world is spinning pretty damn fast, and you don't want to be left behind. The best thing you can do is get around hustlers. You dig? There's no way you're going to be around hustlers and they hopping in them foreign whips. The doors open up all crazy. You heard me? Trunk is in the front, engine in the back. They turn that hoe on and go, vroom, and then you're sitting in a Kia Rio. That just don't feel right. That's going to make you hustle and do what you need to get going. So just like a woman can manipulate you, you should be able to manipulate you. It's an important thing. Dante writes, peace to the saints, tuition. Truly appreciate and thank you to those who are supporting the stream. It does mean a lot, as there are thousands who watch and, they take, but they never give. And so thank you to those of you who do give, whether you hit the like, you shared the video, or you sent in tuition. I appreciate it. Anyway, so they went to Twitter to announce the breakup. And apparently she's been going on video with tears and describing her pain and heartache. And Choppa then took to his personal YouTube channel in a video called Clearing the Air. And I do have that video. It's a 37-minute video. And I feel like that's a long ass time to talk about why you dumped a chick, because the reasons seem clear enough to me. She's worthless, so I dumped her. I mean, shit, that seems like that clears it up. NLE typed out on Twitter, he writes, I am single. I'm man enough to admit I'm not ready, and I have some growing to do. I don't know about that, my boy. We're certainly in an era of immaturity, whereas our parents may have had kids in their early 20s. They got married at 18, had kids in their early 20s, and, filled up a house and were full-blown adults by 25. We are kind of like moving backwards in society, as some of us don't even go outside. We stay indoors, jacking off and playing Madden all day. And as a result, we don't have social skills and we're virgins and, things are going awry quickly. That is what I'm here to stop. When he says that, quote, I'm man enough to admit I'm not ready. Ready for what? Ready for a 27-year-old? Shit, none of us are ready for that. I'm not ready for it either. A 27-year-old woman is highly unlikely she's the one. Highly unlikely. It's possible, but unlikely. I'm willing to give her a try, but not with them nails. No, not with them nails, not with them eyelashes, not with that fake ass wig. I mean, isn't there anything real about her? Fake booty, fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake nails. Is there anything real? But the great irony of all those fake things she has, she still wants a real man. Well, I tell her, you're real dumb if you think I'm going to be the one. Carrying on. He writes, I have some growing to do. Yeah, okay, bro. Cool. Anyways, the article goes on, and there was a follow-up tweet reading, quote, I'm fighting spiritual wars so often, my physical reality don't even be the problem no more. This is the kind of thing that just really makes me wish that African Americans knew that broken English is not our language. Like, we didn't create that. You heard me? Like, for example, if you're a Spaniard, you live in Spain, like, Spanish is your language. If you're German, German is your language. If you're African American, broken English is not your language. You actually don't have one. But the language that you should speak as a primary tongue is mainstream English. And there's nothing wrong with speaking in colloquialism. It just bothers me when people write in colloquialism. It's like when you're writing, you have time to be thoughtful. You might hear me use the N-word when I'm speaking. It's a function of culture. I grew up in a ghetto. So I tend to say every now and then. But I'm not about to write a letter to somebody and say, hey, no, that would be inappropriate. I really just hope that some of you are taking this seriously when I say it, because I do mean it. You should represent yourself well, especially in writing. Ricardo writes, I may go a bit overboard with my giving, but most of my life I could not do that. And I always wanted to give freely and randomly. Paying bills is also a great pleasure. That's a real one. And you know what I really like about that is he feels pleasure in giving, and I understand where that comes from. And there's nothing more beautiful than having abundance. And the reason men actually should be working is so that they have something to give. They have something to provide to their loved ones, to their family, to their friends, to the society, which is why I'm certainly of the opinion that the people in political leadership mostly should be taking no salary or minimal salary because they've been successful in real life. And they came into politics not to steal the money of the citizens, but to give back to the citizens. That's not currently how it is, because if you look at Nancy Pelosi, she's done nothing but steal since she's been in office. Same thing with Hillary Clinton, and the list goes on, I'm sure. Thank you very much, Ricardo, for supporting all of the streams. Zizu writes, happily sending, truly appreciate it. Ace writes, showing love, peace of the saints. Thank you very much, Saint. Trending writes, Smasher, Dasher, Donner. There it is. Smasher, Dasher, Donner, Blitzen, peace of the saints. Marquette be spitting in a real way. Ricardo then came back. He nah, screwed it. I will never give enough and will earn much more to give much more. Also, shout out to Kias. Bruh, I used to have a Kia. You heard me? That mug broke down on me. I remember I was leaving Berkeley. I think it was for winter break. I had my girlfriend with me at the time, Mexican little thing, nice little traditional thing, pretty little girl. We're driving back down to LA. I was going to take her through my hood. And the car just broke down for no reason. I think the car was like the same year it was. I think it was like 2009. The car was 2009. It just broke down. I was like, I'm done with these goddamn Kias for life. Baller alert. Shout out to Don Hill. He writes, I recently acquired a space that was previously a club space in the city, close to 2,000 square feet. Do you have any ideas to make money with the space? Damn, bro. I mean, I'm going to need more context than that. I mean, damn, I am the money man, but even Houdini couldn't do magic with this that you gave me. Well, number one, when you say the city, is like, which city? Are we talking about Manhattan, San Francisco, Las Vegas? I mean, damn, what kind of city are we talking about? That's number one. Then number two, when you say a club space, is it still outfitted as a club, or is it just an empty warehouse style space? That's number two. Number three, 2,000 square feet. I'd have to see how it's laid out, because truth be told, 2,000 square feet is not a ton of space depending on what you want to do. Like, I have pretty much every hotel suite I have ever stayed in Vegas is bigger than that. And it's just me there. So like we really want to think about what you want to do. And then you write, do you have any ideas to make money with the space? Depends on where it is. And it also depends on your skill set. But hopefully it can be a good play. Generally speaking, it's ideal to make money without a space, so to speak. We're in the age of not having brick and mortar establishments unless you want to be in the nightclub, nightlife space. But thank you for that baller alert. And if you do want to talk through some details, I'll put the link if you want to schedule a consultation. I don't know how serious you are about what you're trying to do with the space. But when you want to be successful in business, you want to go through the details of things. Kenneth writes, quote, even the wrong goal leads to the right place, end quote. This is true. Mark Devon Burton. Would you mind getting deeper into this statement, Peace of the Saints? Certainly, I'd be happy to. In short, when I first got into tech, the first business I started was called Hobby Buddy. The business model of this business was not strong enough that it became a commercial success. So I wasn't able to raise money from investors. I was able to do really well in getting users, which is also quite a task in tech. So essentially, that business failed. It was my first attempt. And it failed as a commercial enterprise, but I succeeded in terms of getting an education in software, an education in business, an education in fundraising, and also an education in building a team. Okay, somebody just got dripped up at mdblabel.com. Let's see what they got. Donald just got dripped up. Oh, he got the suede fleece sweatshirt. I literally just ordered that. I'm waiting on mine to come. I like the idea of the suede fleece. I want to see how it feels. You dig? So I'm waiting on that one to come. I actually accidentally just clicked off of it. Let me see. What else? I just got to see what else he got drifted up with. I'll have to check that later. But anyways, so the first tech business, it taught me about business. It taught me about software. It taught me about team building. Hobby Buddy itself was the wrong goal. That was not a good software business that was going to make me $1 million. Then the second one I did, it was called Smarty Pants app. It was supposed to be a study group app. Again, the business model was not quite right. Even the product itself was not quite right, but I was really good at raising capital at that time. And so I was able to raise capital, and based on the way I presented the technology, I had a really strong team this time, and I had the technology looked good. It worked correctly. It was in the mobile space, and it was a bit bleeding edge in terms of higher education because people don't really use mobile technology in higher ed. So it was doing pretty well. I raised capital, and I was able to hire enough intelligent people and get consultation from experienced men that eventually I made the correct pivot, and Smarty Pants became Fletch. And Fletch became a company that took me around this whole planet Earth. Fletch became a company that had me open up an office in Michigan. I opened an office in Chicago, opened an office in Springfield, Missouri, in St. Louis, Missouri, in where else in the United States? In Erie, Pennsylvania. Opened an office in Pyeongtaek, South Korea. Opened an office in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I was actually about to open a major office and a new factory in China right before COVID started. And so I say that to say this. My goal was to create a technology called Smarty Pants that was about study groups. And in pursuing that goal and making the right contacts and getting the right knowledge, I was able to eventually create a technology called Fletch, which did effortless attendance, which I invented. And the wrong goal led me to the right place. And part of that is that I stayed focused, kept my eyes on the prize, kept asking the right questions. And I also believed, that's the key. I knew I was going to be successful. Speaking of success and my urge to support entrepreneurs, if you want to book your consultation, like guys like Brandon Valera, who produced this hat, and because I show love, the hat is linked in the description. If you want to buy it and support Brandon Valera, I encourage you to do so. It's a great hat. Niga, what's next, writes, AA don't have a language, so speak English. Well, I didn't say they don't have a language, but I for sure did say speak mainstream English well. And I encourage all peoples to speak mainstream English well. If you live in an English speaking country, you live in America, Australia, United Kingdom, you should speak English well. Absolutely. Hell, even if you live in Kenya, you should speak English well. Lil Jimmy writes, when cold approaching in the gym, how long should an approach be without seeming like you stopped your whole purpose just to talk to her? That's a great question, Lil Jimmy. I highly recommend that you approach a high number of women. So you're doing volume and you make it reasonably brief, because at the end of the day, you don't really know what's going on until you leave and you engage in the follow-up. And this is what I mean. This is what I really want you to understand. Women are tremendously phony. They're so phony that you could talk to a woman and you could be convinced that she's into you. She likes you. She's interested. She wants to hang out. When she hugged you goodbye, she hugged you tight. You're in the game. Then you text her. She don't reply. She phony. Many of them are phony. So you don't really know what's what until you follow up. Let me give you some deep game real quick. When you approach a chick, you should only really have 3 outcomes in that moment. And you should be as brief as possible in certain situations. So first off, you should try to convert that experience right then into you smashing, which means you're probably be reasonably aggressive. If you find out like, right now, like I can't transition this into me smashing. It's not possible. Okay, cool. Let's put that aside. Step 2, let us transition this into a date. This first encounter, I'm meeting you. Can I turn this into a date? Oh, hey, what are you about to do after this? You want to there's a little smoothie spot right here inside the gym. You want to go grab a smoothie? Boom. Let's transition it into a date. That way you're skipping the whole follow-up piece. You dig what I'm saying? And if she's interested, she can be like, yeah, for sure. Like, I'll meet you over there for a smoothie. I'm going to go shower, meet you there for a smoothie. Or number 3, if you couldn't transition straight into a smash, which does happen in real life, in player life, it happens. You couldn't transition straight into a date, which also does happen. And you ain't even got to be a super player for that. Then you go ahead, exchange contact info. Definitely get hers. You want the ball in your court. You want to be able to make decision. Get her contact info. She might ask for yours. If she does, for sure, give it to her. And then get up out of there. Then hit her up the next day or whenever you want. There's no rules on when to hit her up. There's some people who are like, listen here, fellas, I wait 3 days before I hit a chick. That's goofy. No, there have been times I met a chick, turn around and hit her up 20 minutes later. And things beautifully. You dig? Because if she feeling you, she feeling you. And if she ain't feeling you, waiting 3 days ain't about to change her mind. Let's use some common sense here. That's why you need a veteran player in the game to tell you things that are sensible. And once I say, you're like, damn, that makes sense. If I wait 3 days, she's not going to like me any more or any less based on that. And here's the thing. You're trying to fool the girl into thinking you're busy. If you're busy, she can tell. How can she tell? By the fruits of your labor. Bitch, look what I pulled up in. Bitch, Google my name. Yeah, I'm busy. Yeah, when you Google my name, you see these businesses I'm running. Yeah, look at the drip. Yeah, I run this company. Carrying on. Let's do something. And because I'm busy, I don't have time to wait 3 days. We got to get this in now. And if you don't get it in now, baby, the bus is going to leave and you're going to be left right there. Do you want to roll with me or do you not want to roll with me? That's all there is to it. We ain't got to play games with it. So yeah, let's keep it brief, little Jimmy. Try those 3 things, those 3 options, and then leave her with the contact info. And when it's appropriate, when it makes sense, hit her up. If I meet the chick at the gym at noon and I know she ain't doing nothing later that day and I got time, like, hey, sure, let's go get something to eat. I don't like to do dinner dates, but you get the point. Brandon writes, is there a group chat for the Saints to network in? There's a group chat for the members, yes. So if you're a member at patreon.com/thesaintandthesinner, you can join in the link in the description. We'd be very happy to invite you into the private Discord that we have for the members. And we even, in some cases, we have like channels for each city. Like if you're in the UK or if you're in Canada or if you're in Southern California or South Florida, there's group chats for all those things. Little Cash get right. What's good, fellas? RIP to the manosphere in a real way. Bruh. It's funny, too, how much people jock my game. The little Nigerian dude that's got a stripper pregnant, you heard me? He giving dating advice, but he didn't got a stripper pregnant. And now he's trying to lie about his name so that you can't see that he owe child support. It's crazy out here. But that little dirtball, I heard him say, call himself I think he called himself Pill-Free Gang or something like that. I was like, that's crazy because when people try to say I was RP, I said, no, we're hashtag no pill, which makes perfect sense with my brand because we're against intoxicants, we're against drugs. So we're no pill. Then he trying to steal my swag. I was like, this crazy. I even heard on his live session, my little female was like, I heard him say my boy. I was like, what? That's LA stuff. He not from LA. Why? The boy from Wisconsin. The dairy capital of the world, the dairy capital. Nigga ain't from the swag capital. You heard me? I was like, these boys trying to steal my swag. I got to get this shit patented. I got to patent the swag out here. It's crazy. What can you do? Anyways, back to this article. And thank you to those who have supported the work. May I acknowledge Anthony came in via PayPal. He writes, peace to the Saints. First time paying tuition. Shout out to Anthony. May everyone welcome him warmly. Among the men who pay what they owe. It's a real one. He writes, recently became a member. Welcome him again to this family. He writes, any advice on keeping a positive, productive mindset daily, even through negative times? Bruh, you is all you have. I want to remind you, you is all you have. I get so optimistic and determined for good outcomes that I can't even entertain anything less than that. I'm all about success, winning, domination, and being necessarily aggressive to achieve my goals. I can't hear anything less than that. When you're serious about your goals, you understand that it's going to take a lot to get there. It's going to take focus, determination. It's going to take you performing, you being happy and healthy, all those things. To have a smile on and to think you can get it done, that's a basic requirement because if you don't believe in you, I promise you don't nobody else believe. And if you check back, and I'll have to repost some of this content, I was giving a lecture at Procter & Gamble. If you're like, what the hell is Procter & Gamble? It's a major corporation. Like they make everything that you use, like soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, like everything you use in your bathroom, they made it. Very powerful, wealthy corporation. They invited me to talk to their employees about intrapreneurship. That is to be an entrepreneur within a large organization. And so I came in to talk to them and they said, Marquette, before you were successful, how did you get people to work with you on your idea? And I said, that's a great question, because I had the difficult task of going to a guy who was an aerospace engineer, literally one of my software engineers. He was an aerospace engineer and he was working for Lockheed Martin. And so he's making six figures. And I had to basically say, hey, I'm aware you make six figures. I can afford to pay you 0 figures, but I'd like you to work with me and not them. Well, that's a big ask, isn't it? You have to be pretty damn optimistic. You got to believe in you, huh? If you don't have that, you don't have anything. Through poverty, through wealth, through whatever it is, if you don't believe in you, you have nothing. But I tell you what, if you believe in you, you have the whole world. That's why I'm never scared of going down to $0, because I know I believe in me. I can make $10 million. I can make $100 million. I can make $300 million. I believe in me. I believe in me. That's why I don't ever get worried, because I believe in me. I want you to believe in you, and I believe in you as well. In fact, I believe deeply in people, and I've been successful because I could go to Subway and have someone make a sandwich for me, and I could look at her and I could say, what else do you do? So I don't do much. I say, you know what? I come in here all the time. I get a sandwich made. I noticed you did this, this, and this, and then you did it in this order. You're different. Here's my card. Hit me up. I got an office around the corner. I can recognize talent, and I believe in people. And you know what happens when you believe in you? You know how to see talent in you. And then you can look into someone else and tell them, I see goodness in you. I see talent in you. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to perform the way you told them. She was performing and thinking like a sandwich artist at Subway. Then a P told her, you can be greater than that. You're a careful, detail-oriented person. Here, do this, and I'm going to pay you more, and you're going to earn it. Yeah, I let her make me wealthy. You heard me? Come on, man. Yeah, belief is everything. If you ain't got your head on your shoulders, you ain't got a damn thing. That's a serious thing. And you know what? Keep negative people from around you. Even positive people, when they're around me, if they're not thinking positively, I got to be, hey, go ahead, go left with that. For example, sometimes when people say something to me, and I don't care who it is, it could be my mother, it could be my lady, it could be a chick I just met, I sometimes say, what does that add up to? Or what is the profit in that? Or what does that mean? Which is to say, don't waste words around me. Don't waste words. Don't waste time. What does that add up? What is the benefit? What is the profit? What is the goodness? And now they start to soak that up, and it guides the way they conduct themselves. Yeah, once you really get your head on straight, you're not going to tolerate anything less than positivity. Nathaniel writes, do you see any benefit in posting women on your... Hell nah. Only downside. I only see downside. Status 21 writes, peace to the saints. I'm at work getting this OT in. Praise the Lord. I'm going to catch the replay. Okay, understood. Also, what site can I get the journal? Thanks for the wisdom and motivation. Okay. He may be talking about the Jab journal. There's 2 journal options. So since you didn't say the Jab journal, I'll give you both of them. They're both good works. The Jab journal has guidance, to kind of structure your thinking. And then the other journal is completely blank. You go through there and you put in what you need to put in terms of health, wealth, and relationships. It's kind of more so like your free association and your free thinking. So here is the link for the journal you can get from sassenbrand.com. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the description of this video real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop in the Jab journal link as well, which is by Mitchell McCauley. Great product, sold really well. It's really cool. And he took his time out on it. I'm very proud of his work there. Adding journal, boom, and then Jab journal. Okay. And the Jab journal is at thesassin.com. Grab that for you. Man, it's getting toasty in here. I could have swore I had adjusted the AC, but I think I forgot to readjust it. Hurts my heart. Let me have something to drink. here we are. Got the Jab Journal right here. Got that link for you. And I'll also drop this not only in the description, but also in the chat. Boom. There's the Jab Journal link. All right, cool. Somebody wrote, I believe in the universe. I believe in people. I believe in everything. Cool. Victor writes, peace of the saints. Will you do a full video breakdown on hijab protests in Iran? I'm not sure if you spoke on it before the Russia topic. Apologies if so. Now, I didn't actually, if that's a part of trending news, I might have to throw that in there because I haven't done a trending news piece. The Russia piece was just on that because that topic is rich enough that it requires its own session. But if that's a part of it, a part of trending news, I'd be happy to do. And that sounds quite fascinating. I hope, I hope that the harlots of Iran have not banded together to protest the hijab. Ya Allah, that would be a true tragedy. Screeches writes, peace to the saints sending tuition. Truly appreciate it. Shout out to Isaiah. AR writes, if you don't, quote, if you don't have it in you to commit homicide, then you got to commit suicide, end quote. Ooh, that's raw. I don't even know if I wrote that one down. That one's so raw. He writes, one of my favorite quotes from you when I find myself under pressure. I'm just about to screenshot that because that was one of my colder ones. I like that one, my damn self. And, that one has so much meaning. On the face of it, it might sound a bit gruff, but when you apply it appropriately, it's motivational. Like, for example, when you're in a boxing match, you got to commit homicide. You heard me? Like, they trying to get you out the way. You got to get them out the way. But if you're either in there, you're going to commit homicide, which means you're going to give it to them worse than they want to give it to you, or you're going to commit suicide, which is to say you got tired or you didn't have the skills or you didn't have your nutrition together and you've basically committed suicide because you went in there unprepared and now you're about to suffer. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's a classic right there. Now, let's get back to this NLE Choppa and his old lady. And I really mean old lady in the literal sense this time. Okay. So it's curious. He says, I'm fighting spiritual wars so often my physical reality doesn't even give me problems anymore. And I think I know what he means in that case, because especially when you reach the higher levels of success, the material world is fairly comfortable, right? You're in nice accommodations, you drive nice cars, you eat good food. The world is fairly gentle. Now you're engaging in spiritual warfare, and you see this all the time, and you all actually get to see this unfold in my life. Like, for example, does it make sense that you have mentally ill YouTubers who look out in the internet and then they pick me to attack? Oh, does it make sense to pick me? Not really. I mean, if they ever saw me in real life, they'd be terrified, and I'd beat the snot out of them. Does it make sense to pick me? I'm the guy with the clean record and the guy who's basically square in as much as I eat clean. I don't poison my body with intoxicants. I promote good health. It doesn't make sense to pick me, except that it's spiritual warfare. Evil and wickedness attacking good. And I'm a new kind of good. I'm the kind of good that'll slap your ass back in the face. I'm not the Jesus, like turn the other cheek. No. I'm going to beat your ass when I get the chance. And that's why I want you all to know that spiritual warfare is real and physical warfare is real. All forms of warfare are real and you can't escape any of them. See, the problem is in this soft era, you guys are running from fights. Read my book. You cannot run from any fight. You can only delay it. And when you delay it, you will lose it. I promise you. Just think about it. Metaphorically, someone comes and confronts you. Instead of fighting them, which is your option at that moment you've been confronted, you start running. They chase your ass down. Now what? Now they're fighting you more aggressively because they know you're scared. You've emboldened them. And also you've lost all your allies because the people who would have rocked with you saw that you ran and they saw that you're a coward. So they think if he can't defend himself, he can't defend me. How could he be an ally? Oh, you got to fight. See, we're in this soft world where we think it should be all kumbaya. I often hear imbeciles on YouTube say, not a man attacking another man. Yeah, that's what men do. We kill each other. We engage in warfare. We try to dominate. We're dominant animals. We're just like all the other animals. Do you ever look at gorillas during mating season? You mess around and get your whole head ripped off trying to mate with the female that belongs to the alpha male who's seeking to dominate. Yeah, that's how the animals are. You ever watch National Geographic? You ever see a lion hunt down an animal and then the hyenas come try to take the food that he earned? Oh, he ain't going to react very nicely. There's going to be some blood on his mouth because, hey, that wildebeest that I just killed, I'm eating that. And now I might have to eat you because you playing with what I have earned. Yeah, warfare is a part of life, but you'd be a great man when you master war and when you enjoy war as much as you enjoy peace. I repeat, enjoy war as much as you enjoy peace. You must be a master of both. You must be a student of how to deal with both and how to bring both of them forward when appropriate. Bring peace to your home. Bring war to your enemies. And if you think you don't have enemies, either you're not doing anything or you're blind. Because trust me, you have enemies. I was just looking on Twitter, and sometimes I thank God I'm not in the tech game like I was before because it's so competitive. It's the most competitive industry on earth. You have to contend with Fortune 500 companies that have way more resources, and you have to contend with some super nerd in his basement who's a genius and can do everything that the Fortune 500 company can do with no resources. It's highly competitive. I saw a tweet from one of my former pupils in technology, and he said, don't be like this guy. And he had a screenshot of LinkedIn where he messaged one of his competitors because his competitor kept on signing up for his technology and studying his technology so that he could duplicate the interface. Competition. And then he messaged his competitor on LinkedIn and said, hey, I see that you keep on snooping around my technology, trying to duplicate it. Hey, I worked hard on this. We will delete you every time. Please stop. Guess what? That guy's not going to stop. He ain't going to stop till he wins and takes all your customers. And that's why I tell you guys are probably like, why is Marquette always hyped up on competition and warfare? Because that's what life is, especially at the high levels. If your ass live down here, ain't nobody trying to take what you got because you ain't got nothing. But when you're trying to live up here, people are trying to take it left and right. Believe that. The government trying to take it. Broads are trying to take it. Jealous, broke Nigerian scammers are trying to take it. Everybody's trying to take it. But hey, guess what? When you're prepared for it, hey, bring it on. We're going to fight to the last bullet, little buddy, all of yous. And I'm going hard because I've been conditioned for this. I don't know why any YouTuber would think they could see me. I don't know why they think that. I've been competing at the highest levels. What I have in store for all of them is brutal. Trust me. But I want to say that to say this. You commit homicide or you commit suicide, but something is going to decide. You can go out there and kill or you can be killed. But guess what? When you get killed, it was your fault because you were weak. You chose weakness, and that's suicide. Thank you for sharing that very meaningful quotation with us, Saint. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Most people don't even understand. Like it's crazy. Like there are things you guys don't even know about. Like, for example, when people talk about, oh, I'm getting to the bag, they don't even know what the bag is. Until you've received money from a bank and they gave it to you wrapped in plastic, you don't understand money. You've never seen money. Unless you've been handed a brick of money that's wrapped in actual plastic and it's brand new, human hands have not touched it since it left the mint, you don't understand. So many people live in these goddamn fantasies. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Get to the bag. You don't know what the bag is. You know what the fuck the bag is. Come on, give me a break. A break. Anyways, status. Here, it's my fault. Definitely meant the Jab Journal. Just ordered 2 of the plain journal. Shout out. Appreciate it, Saint. And I like that one. It's a simple one where you just get to pour out your thoughts, and you got to do that. It's a way to de-stress. Anything that's floating around on your mind and it's a recurrent thought, write that down so you can deal with it. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed, but we're not really overwhelmed. Once you write it down and you can itemize a list, you're like, okay, these are the 5 things that are bothering me. Let me get to work on this thing first so I can isolate that, give myself a little bit of peace. Montrell writes, Peace of the Saints. I'm currently in school for an MBA, and I'm scheduled to graduate at age 25. Okay. I have a few years of management experience, and I'm curious on what you believe is the best way to utilize this degree. MBA. An MBA will get you a lot of conversations. It'll get you conversations. It'll get you through a first round of a resume. But the truth is, when you get high level jobs in business development, marketing, what have you, it all comes from relationships. So if you're still in school right now, I'd be milking the institution for introductions, for internships, I'd be like, hey, can I bring in a guest speaker? Whatever you can do to meet someone who matters and make sure that they know who you are. That's what I would use my MBA for. Because truth be told, I have never really found it to be terribly critical of a degree, but it's essentially a numbers degree, right? So you can do numbers within a significantly sized corporation, but to actually get the job, you have to know someone, generally speaking. The MBA means that you meet the basic requirement and it'll help you get a conversation. But if you want the job, you need to know someone. Just in my experience, I'm just saying the world's not like fair as to where you like put in an application and someone actually reads it and then they call you based on your application. That like never happens. I hate to say it, but that's just the way things are. Victor writes, Iranian police allegedly beat a woman to death over improperly wearing her hijab. Man, it happens. She knew. If you live in Iran, they call them the religious police. I know. I don't even live in Iran. This hoe was scamming. Women are now burning their hijab. What? And cutting their hair well, go ahead and cut your hair bald, bitch. You about to send me some money on the salon, ho. Riots are happening as well. Man, man. Yeah, I'll talk about it. In answer to your question, yes, I will talk about this. Women are out of control. They look for anything to act up. And these women are not the pious Muslims anyways. Because if the girl who ended up in that situation was pious, she wouldn't have ended up in that situation. She would have had her hair covered. A lot of these Persian girls or Iranian girls, they will wear the hijab like way back here and show so much of the hair. And the thing now these are Shia Muslims you're talking about. These are not Sunni Muslims. And regardless, in the Quran, it says, if I can remember, it says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم لكم دينكم ولي دين, which is essentially to say, for you is your way, for me is my religion. I mustn't take your way. You mustn't accept my religion. And in Islam, there is no compulsion in religion. So you cannot force someone to be religious or to accept the deen of Islam if they reject it. That is their choice as a free human being. And certainly I don't want any thoughts in the religion anyways. The problem when you have the religious police is they're really enforcing culture. They're not enforcing deen or religion. So hopefully they find a better way to do that. But I think I'm siding with the police on this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I need to see the details of it. I'll look into it. Stop Playing Trey writes, tuition, peace to the saints. Appreciated. Travel with Trey writes, the Master Sun Tzu states, quote, no nation state benefits from prolonged war. This is so factual, end quote. Fight and get it over with. $10 tuition for priceless knowledge. Peace to the God. Appreciate it. Peace to the saints. My boy said, even your old wife is trying to take it, man. Ain't that the truth? You got to keep them under control. You heard me? I leave the house, come back. It's new decorations in the house. I'm like, where in the hell that came from? Oh, this is from Pottery Barn or wherever the hell they get this expensive shit. This is from West Elm. How much was that? This was $8,000. What? 8,000 what? Dollars? $8,000 or 8,000? That what? Wait, what does it do? Does this suck my, what? They be shopping, bruh. Got to keep a hold of them. I interrogate them when I see them with a new outfit. Where'd you get that? I had this in my closet. A closet be expansive. You don't even know if they lying because they got so many clothes when you meet them. You'd be blessed if you meet a woman who has a normal amount of clothes. Oh, stop it. There's really just 81 likes. I'm done. Why do I do this? Why do I come on here and do this? I don't know anymore. It's crazy. Really? Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Wow. I'll wait. And mind you, just for the record, if you're wondering, why do I want the likes? I don't want the likes for, it doesn't make me a penny. I just want to let you know, in case you're wondering, why do YouTubers want the likes? YouTubers, not me, but YouTubers want the likes because the likes help their video get played. And the more their video gets played, they make money because they run advertisements. I don't ever run advertisements on any of my videos, not one video. I make $0 in ad revenue. I could probably make like 50,000 a month, literally in ad revenue. Literally, I can make 50,000 ad revenue. I run no ads. You get to watch the video, get the knowledge, and pure. You don't have to wait for like, oh, we'd like to tell you about Valtrex. Take this pill, and you don't have to hear any of that. I want the like because I like metrics, and I like to know if I'm making progress in all things. In all things, am I making progress? I always check the data. I'm a business guy. So that's why I like the likes, in case you're wondering. Also, it shows respect. You know, you pay tribute to a boss. Side note, I'm curious. I was thinking about doing a YouTube video on how to give a presentation. Obviously, having given a tremendous number of presentations around the world, I'm really good at giving presentations, but I was thinking more so about the specific aspect of the slide deck, the PowerPoint, or whatever you're using to convey the message. People are really bad at that, and schools do a terrible job at teaching this, including business programs, MBA programs, even design programs. And so I was thinking about doing that. Let me know if anyone thinks that'll be of good use to the members. So I would do that for the members and improve their business skills. Presentation is everything. I remember the first time I got a big offer. I was sitting in the office of a boss, Indian gentleman. He actually owned like a soccer club, and much else. I mean, he bought his son what was that? I think it was a Bentley. He bought his son a Bentley just so his son wasn't misrepresenting the family. You heard me? He drive a Rolls, bought his son a Bentley. Son was a freshman in college. You heard me, driving a goddamn Bentley. He's really balling, the father. And I remember I gave him a presentation, and then after that he says, I'm willing to do 100,000. I was like, in my head, I was like, damn, that's crazy. At the time, I think it was like 22. No. I was older. It's 24. I was like, that's crazy. It was pretty cool. It was really cool. Anyways, back to this NLE Choppa article. And to those of you who did hit the like button when you came in the door, I appreciate that, because truth be told, when I'm on here, you already know what it's going to be. It's going to be great information, entertainment, honesty, morality, every time. I don't ever come in here slacking. So I appreciate those of you who came in the door and hit that like button. Aiden writes, peace to the saints. Good to see you, Saint. Shout out to the saints in Saint City. You dig? Mask Maker writes, I'm a cart pusher at Walmart, and a coworker threatened to kill me. What? Whoa. If they work at Walmart, they might do it, though. Be careful. I'm a cart pusher at Walmart, and a coworker threatened to kill me after I confronted him about not doing his job right. Well, that makes sense. Okay. I'm not saying that was right, but it makes sense, right? Okay, cool. I don't like him and my coworkers don't like him. How should I go about doing this? Okay. So number one, let me go ahead and say, if you're working with a guy who threatened to end your whole life because you gave him a minor recommendation on how to just like do his basic job and that just sent him over the edge, he probably ain't screwed on right. Now, as I can recall in my life, I don't think I've ever threatened to kill anyone. I don't think I have. I've tried to kill people, but I never threatened to kill anyone. So this is a high level of crazy. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this: if his crazy, low IQ, incompetent ass can do your job, then you probably need to get a better job at Walmart. You know, maybe move up into corporate, work at a different Walmart, but ideally just work at a higher job, because what you're going to notice in life, if you look around and the people who are your peers in the job are idiots and you're not an idiot, you're in the wrong place. So you need to go ahead and find that upgrade. So what I would encourage you to do right now is ask yourself the right question. The wrong question is, what do I do about this guy? He probably ain't gonna try to kill you, right? Just quit giving him advice. Big facts. Quit giving unsolicited advice. You're welcome. But what you should be asking yourself is, how do I get a better job and work with better people so I can be around a higher quality of sane person? And may you be well and safe. That is unfortunate, but I can tell you, I have a lot of wisdom to give. But one thing, if you're ever around me in regular life, you will observe that I don't go around giving people unsolicited advice. I wait until someone asks me. If they don't, I'll watch them screw it up until they ask me, because people like to figure out things on their own. They don't want to feel dumb, and you don't want to look condescending or arrogant. So sometimes it's better to just keep it silent until somebody asks you. Trevor writes, would love that presentation video. Peace to the saints. Indeed. Okay. Little Cash Kid writes, classic Walmart employee. Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I'm not going to lie to you. Customers are just as bad too. Kino writes, what happened to you and the girl? Hold on, let me make sure I didn't skip anybody. Okay. What happened to you and the girl you had told, quote, your V is trash to me? You're a sex fiend. You should take my lead. What happened to that? I'm trying to remember who you're talking about. You're a sex fiend. Yo, there really be sex fiends out here too. It's sad. It's really sad. I had this one chick that was, I don't know if I'd call her a sex fiend, but she definitely was into sex. She was hella thick, white chick. Oh my gosh, she was thick. She was thick. And you know how you like go one round and you might just be done. I went one round. I was like done. I was like, all right, cool. Hit the light, shorty. I'm ready to knock out. She made me go 2 more rounds, but I couldn't hate it because it was worth it. You heard me? I didn't plan to go 2 more rounds, but she just brought it out of me. They do that every now and then. Oh man. Montreal writes, understood. It's not always what you know, but who you know. And I like to say it's who knows you. It's not who you know. Who knows you? Relationships are key in life and business. I'll go forward like he puts reckless, fearless. You don't want to be reckless. Sometimes being reckless gets you killed. Be fearless. He said, Quet loves pogs. Don't we all love pogs? Don't we all love pogs? You heard me? But sure, I take them thick in whatever color, to be honest with you. I ain't lying to you. But I also take them slim. I like the extremes. You heard me? Give me them with the mean curves on her, or give her to me skinny. You heard me? I love women, man. I love women. Baller alert. Khalil writes, peace to the saints. Recently, I've noticed I've been delaying college to pursue work and financial goals. I feel this is negatively affecting my academic drive, and I think I should fully commit to school and step away from work. Your thoughts? Khalil, I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because whether it's university or a trade school or some other vocational school, it really does matter what you're going to study. And no one should go and take on a liberal arts education because you just don't know. College is expensive. Not that price really matters, because hopefully your job will help you cover the cost eventually. But it's expensive in money, and it's also expensive in time. You should have some level of certainty about what you want to study before you go in there. Hey, I want to be a software developer. I want to be in cybersecurity. I want to be an electrician. Like, you should have some sense of what your degree can provide you in terms of marketable skills before you go in there. Nick writes, peace to the saints. Can you go deeper into the spiritual aspect of life that a young man should pay attention to? I've been feeling off and out of flow since I got back from travels. Thank you, Nick Davis. That's a good question, Nick. Number one, I hope that I don't know where you were traveling to or how many time zones away you were, but sleep is critical. So if you can get your sleep schedule back on track, I highly recommend it. That's one good thing for feeling rooted. Also, on a spiritual level, when we're talking about roots, that's important. Things that give you the feeling of family, whether it's your literal family or not. And when we're talking about the spiritual side of life, it's your morality and what guides you. And there are days where I feel spiritually fulfilled because I did all of the things I know to be right, which would include exercising, writing, reading, connecting with someone I want a good relationship with, spending time contributing, dancing. Those are like all of the things that make me feel spiritually invigorated, and also avoiding all of the things that I find draining, low class women, women who don't have real value beyond their body, people I might have grown up with who are negative and not thriving and not looking to thrive, keeping in the right things and keeping out the wrong things. Taking out time to meditate in the morning and in the evening, taking out time to pray, having time with silence, no headphones, no phone calls, no nothing, time to actually think, and then executing, getting time out in fresh air, sunlight, going for a walk. That's something people don't do enough. Like, literally just go for a walk, just like walk around a nice, peaceful place that's quiet, nice breeze, no cell phone. Maybe walk with a young lady who knows how to shut up. That's a great young lady, by the way, who just knows how to shut up and just be there. It's peaceful. It's spiritually enriching. Indeed, we waiting on these likes out here. Ain't that a shame? Ain't that a pity? So he walked away from this relationship with this super thought, this old super thought that's 27 years old, apparently. Marissa went on Instagram live stream. Oh, that's exactly what I want you to do, love. I want you to go and air our business to the world. Thank you. Appreciate that. And explain what the breakup has been like. Thank you, because that's everyone's business. And I'm sure they're fascinated as to why I broke up with you. I'm sure they are. They don't have anything better to do, like work to provide for their families or, clean up their house or cook a nutritious meal. They would like to hear you babble about why we've broken up. Thank you for sharing that with everyone. It makes me feel better that now my personal private business is in the public. Thank you. Reminds me of why I dumped your ass. Okay. It hasn't been a walk in the park for the IG model. Is she an IG model though? Is she? What makes you an IG model? Like, you just take off your clothes and post the pictures? Is that what makes you an IG model? That's crazy. He writes, recording of conversation with a female, August 16, 2020. I don't know. Let me see if that connects to his previous. He writes, recording of a conversation with a disagreeable female for Patreon members. Let me see. Oh, okay. I would have to check back on that one and listen to it. Oh, no, I know who you're talking about. Yes, I know who you're talking about. Now I'm suspicious of who you are. Because look, I've had a couple breaches. You heard me? We've been infiltrated a couple times. We're recently infiltrated. We got enemies. We got ex-females I used to deal with joining the Patreon and stuff. It's getting out of control. You heard me? I'm not following up on this publicly. It's getting crazy out here. That's my response, is a rich man laugh. Life's good, though. I tell you that much. Anyways, so this IG model goes on to IG Live, And reveals that I've been having trouble sleeping and eating since Choppa ended things. Of course your broke ass been having trouble eating because I've been feeding your broke ass. Oh, you've been having trouble sleeping, have you? Your lying ass. Your ass been sleeping like a baby, you thought. Only thing is you have nightmares about not having all the finer things I've been providing your broke ass. Bitch. I'm speaking for the people right now. Through tears, she said, through tears, good God. Through tears, she stated, quote, honestly, how hard is it for me to get up and face reality because this was not my reality a week ago. I can't tell y'all how hard it is because I love so hard and I love harder and harder and harder every time. And this one hurts the most because I really thought I was going to marry this man. I bet you wish you was. Your old 27-year-old ass and he 19. What kind of nut ass bitch are you? If I was your father and you told me you were dating a 19-year-old and you're damn near 30, I would be like, I failed. I failed as a father. Why is she dealing with boys out here? And she need a dude that's like 35. She dealing with a dude that's 19. She going backward in time. This chick is a nut. And she's clearly immature or she's trying to manipulate and dominate. But something don't add up that she trying to deal with a 19-year-old kid. And if a broad is 27, he's a 19-year-old kid to you. Come on, you old dumb broad. She's a nut and has no morals either. Just none at all. Lord, Lord, Lord. You meet a woman who's 27 and you're 19 and you go spit game at her. If she's a respectable woman, she'll look at you like you're out your mind. She will look at you like you're out your mind. Like, why are you talking to me? Like, we're so far apart in life. You're 19. 3 years ago, you just got a driver's license. Like, why are you talking to me? This broad is a dirtbag, period. And him, all he should have did was smash it and dash it and told the homies, like, bro, I just smashed this cougar, bro. Yeah, that's all he should have did. But, you know, you 19 and you get caught in that manipulation. And she, of course, has a very high level manipulation game. Very high level. According to New Hip Hop, Waka Flocka's ex-wife Tammy Rivera entered the chat by leaving some heartfelt advice. Oh, gosh, she's trying to be relevant too. These bitches are outrageous. It's funny how women just love attention. Just love it. Just at any cost, at any cost. Cost of their dignity, they ain't got none, doesn't matter. Cost of their respect, they don't respect themselves, it don't matter. It's outrageous out here. So the ex-wife of Waka Flocka, and you know you're not important when they don't even use your name. They just call you the ex-wife of so-and-so. So much for your attempt at being relevant. Anyways, the ex-wife of Waka Flocka. Of Waka Flocka. You was married to a nigga named Waka Flocka. Come on, a nigga named Waka Flocka. You made me say the N-word. And I had to because it could only be an N-word named Waka Flocka. It's not like a new Sesame Street character. There's Oscar the Grouch and there's Waka Flocka. And here's Burton Ernie. Like, come on, man. What are we doing out here? She says, quote, baby, what I could tell you is that it get better and you will look back at this and laugh and say, damn, I was tripping. Trust me, all of us women know the pain of heartbreak and we emphasize what you love. Bitch, y'all know the pain of your bank breaking. You hear me? Because that's all that really troubled you is your bank breaking and you out of the spotlight. And hey, shout out to the successful men who, when you trade them in, you didn't upgrade it. You heard me? You didn't trade in this Pinto or this Jalopy and you didn't hopped in the Bugatti. Beautiful thing. And that's what these hoes don't understand. Hey, if you can't act right, I'll find one that can act right. And guess what? It's easy work because man years age slowly. You heard me? Man years is ages slowly. A man's 27 ain't a woman's 27. Those are two radically different ages. For example, I was just dealing with this Colombian chick. Pretty thing, but I kept looking at her face like, you look so old though. It was weird to me because we're like, we're not even the same age. She's 1 year younger than me, but I kept looking at her face like, but you look so old though. Like, you're pretty and you had surgery, of course, clearly, but you still look so old though. I can't do it. I can't. I can smash, but I can't do anything else. I can't. You know, they be delusional though. They get a little bit of surgery and they think they the shit, boy. They get a little bit of surgery. They think they Yes, indeed they do. Khalil comes through with a baller alert 2 times. He writes, I plan to get a degree in environmental health and safety. Okay. I was supposed to enroll this fall, but moved it until the spring to take a job in Wisconsin with the promise of higher pay and a promotion. But recently I've been money driven and I feel the need to refocus on school. Well, you have to ask yourself, are you going to school to get a job to make money? Or are you going to school to get a job that is a calling to you? I'd really ask myself, like, why am I doing this? What is the greater end goal? If I'm just going to school to get a job to get money, then I'm already doing that. Is it going to provide me significantly more money? If so, perhaps that might be an opportunity. Also, when you're saying environmental health and safety, it sounds like you'll probably be working for the government, or you'll be a government contractor working with a company that does B2G business. And so I would really look into the job market right now before you enroll in school and look at what those salaries look like. But you want to think through, where things are leading, because I can promise you, generally speaking, I don't know exactly what job you have right now. If it's sales, then, those are not skills that are going to be terribly useful to you unless you can show numbers like, hey, I sold $1 million in product this year and I've sold 20% more each year I've been with this company, then that's going to help you. But if you're not getting real skills in your job, then yeah, axe it, go on to something else. But with regards to environmental health and safety, 4 years degree in that versus 4 years of building skills, real skills in a business, a resume is going to look better with real skills coming from business experience, unless it's sales, because sales skills are generally undervalued unless you can demonstrate like having brought in significant revenue. Thank you for your question, Saint. Carrying on. Okay. So she over here on IG trying to get attention. This broke down bitch. And this is also a result of the breakdown of family. Personally, I don't think you should discuss your relationships with your family in general, but now that you're broken up, you don't have your male leader. So you are unto yourself, which is to say, theoretically, you're returned back to your family. And now your father is your male leader. And then you have your mother and your family, and you can commiserate with them privately. That is appropriate. So yes, you should talk to your family, but with families being so broken down and people not having proper networks, they go out to the public, to social media. And that's one of the beautiful things about the Assassin is that, we have good people with values and family gathered around us, real peers, real men. And we have mature men in the Assassin, guys who are 60 and 50 and 40, and then give you good, sound life advice and be an ear to you. And so I recommend that you do take advantage of that when it's appropriate. But damn sure don't go on Instagram like, man, shit, bitch didn't dump me. Like, nah, don't do that. Please. Please don't. The Charlotte Agent writes, peace to the saints. I asked about your fraternity before, and I did read about it in your book. Amazing read. Hope to meet you in Las Vegas. Great content. Thank you very much. I appreciate that compliment. And this book took a long time to write. And everything in it is true, unlike a lot of books and a lot of things you hear on the internet. And, there are a lot of life lessons here. So I'm glad that you found one that was beneficial to you. So thank you for sharing that so that others have the opportunity to grab that book. You can get the book on Amazon if you like, or if you want a low-cost ebook, you can get it at marquettism.com. NLE Choppa posted a video on YouTube about the breakup called Clearing the Air. So I think what I'll do is 2 things. One, I will play the video from NLE Choppa. We'll see how much of it we can bear to listen to. Excuse me. And then we will play the Instagram live of this broad crying, which I don't know why, but sometimes when idiotic women cry, I find it funny and entertaining. So I hate to admit that, but it's a guilty pleasure. So we will listen to that afterward. Here we go. Get that footage. So this is NLE.
I'm going through. By far, she is the most brilliant woman I've ever had. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. I hate when people comfort her in the sense of or talk down on her and talk about her. She's just very emotional, but she is the most brilliant woman I've ever had. She showed me what loyalty was. She showed me women still cook. You know what I'm saying? She showed me true love, you know what I'm saying? And
see, shout out to the young. He seems to have a good heart. Really, he has a good heart, and I commend him for that. but he's a young man. And, you know, when you're young, you've not experienced a significant number of people or things. And when he's saying, you know, she's a brilliant woman, sometimes an older person might appear brilliant just because they've had more experience. So they can speak from a base of experience, or sometimes they're just repeating things they heard other wise people say, and they've had more time to meet wise people. Or in her case, she might just be very good at manipulating because she's had a lot of time and experience to sharpen up her skills of manipulation. And undoubtedly, she's trying to manipulate. There's no real reason that a mentally healthy female would date a 19-year-old boy. Is just completely unreal. It's irrational. Is this disgusting? Like I know for a fact if I told my mother that, she'd say, "What?" She'd make a face. I already know, because it's weird. And so the young man has a good heart, and he's very saintly in nature. And so I commend him for speaking well of her, because it doesn't represent any of us well to drag people through the dirt, especially if you were formerly connected to that person. I mean, how dumb do you look when you're like, my ex-girl, she a dirtbag? It's like, well, then you have some dirtbag in you. That's why you were dealing with her. Birds of a feather flock together. And that was your main piece. You know, like, some of her is in you. So he's wise not to drag her through the dirt. It's a beautiful thing. He says she's the most brilliant woman he's encountered. Well, he's not encountered many women. He's only 19. And I trust that she was very manipulative. He said she showed me many things, like women still cook. I would have hoped your mother showed you that. My mother showed me that. You dig? But also there's a lot of women who cook. It's just that you probably are surrounded by a lot of thoughts because you're a rapper, and that's what it attracts, your profession and your appearance. So that's what you're going to see more of. But a lot of women cook. It turns out you got to cook to survive at the end of the day. And he also says she showed me loyalty. Well, my dear saint, when you have money and fame, they tend to be a little bit more loyal. Sometimes, or at least they look loyal. You dig? Who knows what she was actually doing? We don't know. You don't know. But I'm glad that you at least feel like she was loyal. You've won part of the battle. Lee Jimmy writes, any tips on interviewing for a job in front of a staff group of about 20 people? Yeah, number one is remember that people hire you not only based on your skills and resume, because if you're in the interview, your skills and resume are already good enough, or else they shouldn't have invited you in. And feel free to tell them that. Right at that moment that you're being interviewed in a panel style, they're trying to assess your personality, your likability, your fit for the culture. So use humor, use charm, have fun, relate to people, flip questions back on them. When they say, hey, what's your favorite restaurant? Oh, my favorite restaurant is Chez Panisse. What's your favorite restaurant? There's nothing wrong with interviewing them too. And if they ask you why, say, hey, it's a mutual interview. I want to make sure that I want to work here as much as you want me to work here. Be human, be intelligent, do things differently. Kyle writes, shout out to the Saint who did the thumbnail piece to the Saints. Thumbnail clean indeed. Appreciate that. I will forward the message. Back to NLE.
And I'm mature enough to know to say that I wasn't ready for it. But within me saying I wasn't ready for it, not only am I telling y'all that, I always let her know that. I always let her know that from day one. So let me get into depth with just the timeline. First and foremost, I hit her. And the first thing I told her was in her DM, I was like, keep your...
Can somebody tell NLE, don't let your slang catch you a case? He said, first thing I did was I hit her. No. You mean you messaged her? Because if you hit her, there might be a knock at your door and it might be the police. You don't want to say that on record, my dear boy. See, and that's another thing. When you guys hear me saying African Americans need to try out some mainstream English, it's because of reasons like that. Carrying on.
Your ring finger open for me. And I never even knew her, never even got the chance to speak to her. I just loved what I saw. You know what I'm saying, from the outside looking in, and I meant it. At that present moment, I meant it, you know what I'm saying? She was going through a breakup during the time, so it took her a while to text me back or whatever.
See, that's how you already know she's a thought. That's how you already know she's a thought. You met her when she was going through a breakup. She's a thought. You might say, Marquez, she breaking up. That means she leaving old boy. Why is she a thought because of that? Damn, shorty, you don't need no time to heal? I'll give you guys an example. After a woman gives birth to a child, you can't just be running back up in that slot straight after, trying to hit the jackpot. No, sir. You got to give her time to heal. She's had an experience. You have to give her time to heal. Same thing with a breakup. She's broken up. She needs time to heal. And there may be a possibility that she might reattach to that man because things are fresh. They might have just had a fallout and they might fall back in together, fall in love. So you need to give it a little bit of space. Let it air out. You heard me? So how is it she didn't just broke up with old boy and you already hollering at her and she going with it? That's weird because the semen stays alive in the vagina for 5 days. She might have broke up with him on Monday. You heard me? He smashed on that Sunday before that Monday. And now here you are smashing on Tuesday? Nah, family, I can't get down like that. I got to let it air out in a real way, man. Yeah, she's a thought because a real woman would have said, hey, I'm still trying to detach. She trying to hop to the next cockeroni. She's having a cockeroni salad, cockeroni and cheese. It's sad out here, man. And he's such a nice kid that he's over here like validating it and okay with it. He's a nice young man. Barak writes, Khalil, I'm graduating and can advise you that if your degree isn't a barrier to entry, skip the degree. That's a good point. And get real experience. School is just a means to an end unless you want to be a scholar, piece of the saints, or you want to have the experience of partying and having that college experience, which is an experience you can only get in college. So if that's what you're looking for, yeah, go. But I agree. If you can get the job without the degree, get the job. Said a rebound hound. I feel you, bro. She monkey branching. Never even heard of that term, but I feel you.
But when she finally did, we used to just get on the phone or whatnot and just chop it up. And every time I talked to her, I always knew it was something she was hiding. And what she was hiding was her feelings. And so the saying that I've learned recently that resonated with the relationship that we had was to never catch a falling knife. And I feel like she caught one as well because I was in the process of trying to heal from something myself. It wasn't relationship-wise, but hers was a relationship thing, and I had my different journey I was trying to heal from. And I feel like we both took a pit stop. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we both.
This motherfucker right here is really over here off some heartfelt ass, spiritual journey ass conversation. This is like this is like waiting to exhale ass, like women drinking wine ass soft ass. Bro, I can't even do it. What? Come on, man. I'm going to try to fast forward to the part where he tell this bitch what's real. Lord Jesus, I ain't sensitive enough to listen to this shit. God damn. Woo, man. There's levels to stuff, right? I got too much testosterone. Damn, my old lady every now and then I be telling her like, "Hey, quit that weak shit." She be like, "I'm a woman, but I don't give a damn. Quit that weak shit." Anyways, Rob writes, "Peace to the saints. Got a main who is a real asset. That is 26, turning 27 in 2 months. You got me thinking I should trade her for a younger model. Nah, bro. If you met her when she was younger than that, fantastic. And if she's playing her part, don't trade in an asset." For mystery, if she's doing her job, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm just saying, if you happen to be single and you are looking at your option pool, don't go to the senior citizen side of the pool. You probably want to go to the freshwater side. That's all I'm saying. But if you have a nice lady who's doing her part, that's all we could ever hope for. Love and family are beautiful things. And if she's an upstanding woman, we're all going to age. He writes, "Nah, just kidding. But kids in the future with her does worry me. Thoughts?" Bruh, you know what I'm thinking. Shit. It is what it is, bruh. So if you, it is what it is. Give it a shot. See if she can do it. Oh, goodness. Oh, my Lord. Carry on. Back to I'm gonna try to fast forward through NLE giving me all this soft ass shit, man.
I feel like we both stopped at the same gas station. Let her know she needed to learn to love herself, and within the process, I would call her. We would talk every day, and in a sense, I could feel Marissa starting to gravitate more towards me. just in the sense of
You know what? I bet these hoes love NLE. I know these hoes love NLE because he really will take his time with a female. You heard me? He will listen to her talk. He will talk back with her. They will get heart to heart. And I'll probably just show up and dick this bitch down and dip. You heard me? You know, I'm going to fulfill a different role in his girl life because he fulfilling the role of acting like the girl. Like, God damn, bro. Like, nobody want to hear all this shit. Like, you got to be a real NLE fan to listen to this long-ass Martin Luther King speech he given when I'm just trying to get to the goddamn point. Like, Lord Jesus, this man knows how to talk. Woo.
fucking the same person for the rest of my life. And that's understandable.
Oh, there we go. Talk to me.
It comes from loving myself and just knowing myself and not trying to be a poison to another female, because I feel like in my past, don't get me wrong, motherfuckers need to take accountability for what they did in the past, but I'm always take accountability for myself. So speaking on my behalf, I know I wasn't the best man. And that's because I was dishonest. I said, if I ever get in another situation, another relationship, I'm gonna be honest. Cause that's what lets you know what's wrong or right. That's what wrong or right sides with. It's either the lie or the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when it comes down to who's wrong or who's right, it always comes down on what was being truthful from the beginning, or what was being a lie, or what was a lie. Y'all know what I mean? It's hard to say it, but there was one thing
I'm just like, bruh, you got this hoodie on because you ain't got a lineup, NLE. Just get a lineup, man. Like, it's cats out here ain't got no hair. Would love to have some hair. Just go get a lineup. Goddamn, just go to the barber, bruh. Get you a lineup, okay? For all of us. For all of us. No, I don't have any hair. But when I did, I kept it lined up. Grooming is important. I just want to say that. And also, yeah, we're going to carry on. We're going to carry on.
I laid out there. I said I don't see myself being just fucking the same person for the rest of my life.
Thank you. Took this nigga 12 minutes to say I want some side vagina. Goddamn NLE. You took 12 minutes to say, look, bitch, I'ma have me a side hoe and you gonna deal with it. Took you 12 minutes? Damn, bro. And you over here talking about the truth and it's just the truth and the lie. Nigga, get to the truth. Lord, oh, so I done used the N-word again. Good Lord. I don't even like that word. It's a terrible word. But let me acknowledge these comments. Bestow, good to see you again. He writes, drop her and move on. Peace to the Saints. I feel you. She wasn't worth much. So I damn sure would have told her what it is. I wouldn't have took 12 minutes. This thing, it took 12 minutes to tell the audience what it was. I know he probably took 12. Excuse me. I know he probably took 12 hours to tell this broad what it was. It took 12 minutes just to tell me, and I don't even matter. That's the crazy part. I might have to start producing sass and handkerchiefs so niggas could get their gentleman game on, you dig? I ain't even got nothing in my hand. It's just, it's just habit, Keno writes, did you grow up with Tyler, the Creator? Hell nah. What? You crazy? That boy, he be eating Fruity Pebbles, don't he? He writes, he has never smoked, drank, nor consumed any substances. But yes, I do hear that he's consumed a penis through the anus, though, is my understanding. And we don't live like that. But shout out to him for keeping his I would say keeping his body pure, but not ingesting through the... Anyways, good luck to Tyler, the Creator. I hear he has good raps. But yeah, I hear he's also bisexual. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong. I don't want to throw that on anybody if it's inaccurate, but that's what I heard. That's what I heard. Anyways, Khalil writes, thank you, Boddick and Marquette. Meeting you and Aiden at the conference does make me want to pursue college. I'm already a safety consultant, so I'll need to rethink my major and fully apply myself and use it as an asset to grow. And yes, and from having met you, you have discipline. You're going to do very well in college. And it's also beautiful young women all over the place. Do enjoy. Please do. Somebody said, go silk. You can't go silk on a handkerchief that you actually use for practical purposes because it's too smooth, doesn't have enough texture to properly clean. So yes, if you see me with a suit, I'll probably have a silk handkerchief in a suit, but that's just for show. He says, Tyler for sure is a Skittle guy. Well, there you go. He's playing for the other team, Mizzy. That's a pity. That's okay. More hoes for me. Excuse me, more women for me. I like the women. I'm trying to stay away from the 304s in real life. Anyways, back to NLE. He's finally telling this thought, hey, thought, I plan on having other women. Why a thought has a problem with that? I don't know. It's not like she's been like sticking a one cock and two balls. We know she's not been doing that.
And that's understandable for the age I'm at. I'm mature in a lot of areas, but I'd be allowed to say I'm mature in every aspect of life because everybody can grow from somewhere. My mind is so knowledgeable, so mature, and so advanced. I feel like I'm 50. I don't get along with the average 19-year-old. I don't do what they do. I don't get along with my average peers. I always have sex with people older than me. I always talk to people older than me. I always been the youngest person on the block. You know what I'm saying? All my friends, whatever, niggas, all my niggas, whatever, was always 4 to 3 years older than me.
That's cool, bro. But when you're talking about not wanting other women as a function of age and maturity, that just lets me know you don't have age and maturity. That pretty much is not going to change. That's not going to change. The drive of the male to capture multiple females, this is a natural biological drive. Now, clearly the more masculine, testosterone driven, more alpha of the males will seek a greater number of women. And it is the best of us who can actually support that greater number of women. So the morality comes into play when you're able to actually support these women and honor them with relationship rather than just dick and bubble gum. You dig? So, if you let them get hit off and slid off, then that's one thing. That's not quite right. But, if they're good enough to hold on to and you hold on to them and keep them in your family and you take care of them and honor them, that's a different thing. I don't think that your drive for multiple women is going to disappear because you've aged. That's just not the truth. And I think that he's deluding himself and he'll probably end up disappointed. And this is why it's important to have elders around you to let you know what's on your path, to let you know like, hey, son, I've been your age and I got some news for you. If you like to have 3 or 4 hoes at 19, at 29, you will probably still like to have 3 or 4 hoes. The only difference will probably be the nature of the hoes, right? At 19, you just don't give a fuck. You just slanging dick. But at age 29, you might want some chicks who are not going to embarrass you. You feel me? You want them to clip them fingernails a little bit shorter so they look a touch more professional. You don't want they eyelash flying off when you roll the windows down and you speeding on the freeway. So you're probably going to need your hoes to be a little more civilized. But you're still going to need 3 or 4 of them. It just is what it is.
Always been the youngest in whatever I did because I always felt I was older than what I was. I grew up quick. I was 12, I was an adult. I had adult problems at 12. Thought I had a baby on the way at 13. Started doing stuff behind the gun at 14. Like, I grew up quick. So.
Did you grow up quick or did you grow up ignorant and misguided? Like, no disrespect to NLE, but did you grow up quick or did you grow up ignorant and misguided in the streets? I only say that because I can relate. It's just unfortunate. Like, yeah, no, I did similar things. And I wouldn't say I grew up quick. I grew up ignorant and misguided. We all grow up and age at the same actual rate. But due to poor parenting, we have to experience things that rob us of our innocence and push us out of our youth sooner than we should. It's nothing to be like happy or proud about. And saying that you slay older women, that's fun when you're young. I'm not going to lie. It feels like an accomplishment. And then you realize that the only reason it's easier to slay these older women is because the guys their age don't want them and they need some D, so they'll take yours. It's just it's an exchange at that point. May I acknowledge Anthony, who comes in by PayPal. He writes, really appreciate the feedback, honestly. Look forward to applying it and progressing. Happy I found you in your content. I appreciate you. Thank you. I might ask, how did you find the content? I know a lot of new folks have been coming through. So do let me know how you found the content. And I did want to point out, because Donald went and got dripped up at mdblabel.com. He got the suede fleece sweatshirt, which I have. He copped the MDB label bean, the white beanie with the black MDB label. I think I might have ordered that one. I forget because I order so much stuff from MDB label. I think I have that one. He also ordered what looks like it might be the green one, which is fire, actually. He got the black and white bomber jacket, which I end up getting. I didn't want to because I feel like I got a lot of black and white jackets, but I end up having to do it anyways. I want to put my patches on there. I bought some patches from sassinbrand.com. I want to put my patches on there, see how that looks. I feel like it might look super saucy. You dig? He also got the socks from MDB Label that are white with the black foot. Those are dope. Also, Dylan is coming out with some of those as well. And his, I know, are going to be cold. And I'm hoping he sells them by the pack. And I want to cop some. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We also have, who else went out here? Oh, shout out to, oh yeah, Donald also copped the journal. I see he did that. Okay. Oh, he copped both journals. He was right. He sure did cop 2 of them. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Ruffin. He sends in tuition, writes Peace to the Saints. Truly appreciate. Came in by Cash App. Shout out to Robert. He just got the black box on ebook. Great read. Do let me know what you think. Let's get back to NLE. Boy, that boy be talking slow as hell. He has some patient ass parents. I'm gonna go ahead and say either he grew up with a single mother or his daddy was sensitive and soft as hell. Cause I'd be like, boy, what the fuck is you talking about? Nigga, I gotta go to work. Damn it. You'll be late for everything. Listen to this.
Some spaces I'm not maturing, and I accept that. My nose kind of runny. So within that process, I said I couldn't see myself having sex with the same person. And the next thing was, I said I don't see myself having one wife. And that's another thing. Marissa, she was big on marriage. She was big on marriage. So I'm like, I had to let her know, like, I don't see myself having one wife. I said, I'll probably marry you, but you would have to, be cool with the simple fact that I believe in polygamy. So you may not be the only person that I would marry. You know what I'm saying? And I let her know that. And she was like, that's different.
What she was really thinking, she started doing math in her head. She was like, okay, you got $4 million. I could split that with another bitch. I could do that. That's cool. 1 million for me, 1 million for her, 2 million for you. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That's enough to split. That's what she was thinking. Bitch started doing math. But shout out to NLE. He definitely has a saintly nature. So he kept it honest. He told her off rip, look, I can't be having intercourse with just you, my little thotty friend. And if you want to get married, that's fine. Now, of course, you want to get married. She want to lock down her bag. And secondly, she's 27. She better hurry up and get married. She trying to trap you. He told her, look, shorty, I'm going to need that second wife. And she's like, that's different. Okay. Of course, you're going to say okay. That's what they do. And by the way, gentlemen who are watching and you're thinking you can't have certain things. Oh, yeah, you can. You see, the more the woman esteems you, the more she gonna let you do what you do. You dig?
I feel like that's cool. I feel like that's something I can work on with being open to as well. So, hear me out. So this was pretty much the thing, and no disrespect, Marissa was willing to give up all of these things that she felt was that she was gonna get from just out of life. She felt she was gonna get married, which she probably is. She probably might find that person that is just gonna marry her. But this is pretty much her life. This was pretty much already thought out in her brain. She was gonna get married to somebody that was faithful for her, faithful just to her, build a whole family, and just live happily ever after. And I was telling her, it sounds a bit like a fairy tale because certain things don't always play.
That's crazy when a motherfucker 19 years old then told your 30-year-old ass that sound like a fairy tale. That's bad. That's really bad. And it's ironic too, because when you look at her, it's like, baby, you're asking for a Disney fairy tale, and that would be cool if you look like that Snow White vibe. You heard me? I'm not saying you need to be a white woman, but I'm saying you were more conservative. You kind of matched in the fairy tale. But why is it you're saying you want a family, kids, a marriage, a husband, a house, white picket fence, but you look like a stripper though? You tatted up like the subways in Harlem. You done got more surgeries than Michael Jackson. Everything about you fake like a crash dummy. Where does it add up that I would marry a woman that's like you? No. You look like you should be in a Chopper City music video twerking. Like, why do you think you're a family woman? It's like you heard the Disney fairy tale and you wanted the outcome of the fairy tale, but you're not willing to be the princess that deserves it. You heard me? You're not willing to be the upstanding princess that deserves it, but you still want the fairy tale princess outcome. Come on now. It's wild. That's the issue of our time, is that people want, it might not even be the issue of our time, it just might be an issue in humankind, that people want what they don't deserve.
In that type of sense, or the cars don't sometimes roll out that way, but it's not impossible. But I say, if you're looking from that, from me, my present moment, who I am as today, when I wake up today, you're not gonna find that in me. I let her know that several times, several occasions, and she was cool with it. And she said, well, she was with me in a sense of hope. I feel like she was with me in a sense of hope, and I grew out of it.
Let me just summarize what this motherfucker trying to say, because we ain't got time like that. Look, NLE Choppa is basically saying, look, I told this broad the truth. She can't handle the truth. Yeah, shocker. But she lied and said she could. Why? Because he has money, fame, status, youth, good looks. That's pretty much the whole damn package right there. And for a thought he's a rapper too, that's a great plus. She tatted, he tatted. Hey, fantastic. So those things line up. It was a perfect fit for her. Not for him, but for her. So she lied. And this is the major difference between the male and the female. We get into a relationship with a female hoping she never changes. She gets in a relationship with you hoping that you do change into her fantasy, right? She looks at the base model and she says, okay, this is a good guy, but he could be a great guy if, and then she thinks about how she wants to change you. And then in her silly rabbit ass mind, she makes every effort to change who you are. And in his case, he's basically about to summarize and say that he told her the truth. She said she could handle the truth. And then when he proceeded to do exactly what he said he was going to do, she then harassed him, complained, cried, created conflict, reached out to the other girls, and caused discord in his life. And, you know, I can tell you, I've had the exact same situation. The girl didn't have no tattoos, no long ass nails, no fake eyelashes, and no tattoos. But other than that, it was the exact same situation. You tell her, look, love, I require this. She's like, oh, I don't really like it, but I can deal with it. Just be honest with me. Then you're honest with her. But why? Like, look at this girl. Like, it's like she says, be honest with me. And then you tell her, like, hey, I'm about to go see my other girl right now. And she's like, which girl? Are you talking about that one girl on Instagram named so-and-so? I'm like, damn, bitch, you stalking bitches now? You stalking these hoes? She's like, or is it the other girl? I'm like, God damn, like, how are you memorizing all these chicks' name and description? And the weird thing is, what they want to do is they want to degrade the other girl. The other girl's not pretty enough. And if the other girl is pretty, she not smart enough, or she not educated enough, or she don't make enough money, or she got tattooed. Like, they'll find some way to degrade the other girl to say that they're better. And that's just female nature. I don't want to call it competitiveness, because that would almost make it sound like a good thing. It's jealousy, and it's them trying to monopolize. They're trying to monopolize you for themselves, which is in some cases motivated by their love for you, but it's also motivated by driving forces that are not so good. You know, things like insecurity, jealousy, like our more base negative emotions. And you'd be blessed to find a woman who is willing to, you know, let you be who you are, which is to say, if you require 2 or 3 women, she's willing to roll with that. And she also has the nobility of nature that she doesn't want to degrade the other women that you deal with. You see what I'm saying? And that takes some training, and that takes some practice. You're not going to meet a woman who's already like ready to handle what it takes emotionally for her to know that you're about to go do your thing in this world. You dig what I'm saying? He says, this is true. My girlfriend tried to find out the info on the other girl. I pleaded the fifth. But you got to. And even if you plead the fifth, I mean, their research skills are impeccable when they're motivated. They're just impeccable. It looks like we're winding down here. So we're gonna go ahead and look at this footage of this chick put on her best Grammy performance. Let me go ahead and go to that one. And to those of you who have clicked the like, I appreciate that. To those of you who have supported the stream, I know Nick was one such person. Do appreciate that. I know Ricardo came in with a baller alert. Khalil came in with a baller alert. So thank you to those folks who took out that time to do such. And of course, all of the folks who supported that I didn't name. You are appreciated. So here's this broad right here. Here's this broad right here. Saints, enjoy.
I'm already the joke of the day.
Just side note, oh, you're so sad, but you damn sure did take out your time to put on your makeup. You damn sure did take out your time to put on your eyelashes, didn't you? But you're so sad. You're so sad and distraught, but you damn sure did take out time to put on this fake ass face that don't match the same color as your neck. But you're so sad and distraught and you can't sleep, but you damn sure don't. You look rested to the mug though. Oh, here, let's hear what this phony broad has to say.
So yeah, I am starting my healing.
Oh, here she done went straight into her best Amber Heard impression. This bitch went into her Amber Heard. I'm starting my healing. Bitch, you should be used to healing all them goddamn. Oh, hold on. And we went over 2 hours. Damn. There we go. We done went over 2 hours. My camera didn't cut off. I had to switch up on y'all. We gonna finish this. The funny thing too is she's talking about, I'm starting my healing. Bitch, you should be great at healing. All them goddamn surgeries and you a master at healing. That's all you really know. Shit. Here we go. Oh, now she got them tears ready. As soon as that camera started rolling, y'all notice at the beginning she had like a total of 0 tears. That goddamn camera started rolling. Them tears is coming now. It's amazing.
Journey. But I want to be honest.
For the first time.
Because this is real.
Oh, hell nah. Whoa. Did she just look in the camera and say, I want to be honest because this is real? Damn. I'm going to go ahead and say you're lying and it's fake. Just because you told me you want to be honest and this is real, just because you said that, I'm going to go ahead and say you're lying and it's fake. Because who the hell feels the need to say such a thing? I ain't doing no dirt with her. We going straight to jail. She ain't going to hold up on the stand.
I want to be honest because, she was already honest about everything else.
Bitch, blow your nose.
And this isn't to make anybody look like the bad guy.
You're 27. Get something to do.
This is just my truth.
If it's your truth, keep it to yourself.
You can't help who you love.
Oh, God. Even if you love
You can't
kids.
help who you fall in love with. Oh, how hard it is for me.
Shout out to Simple the P. You can't help who you love, even if you love kids. Even if they 13 years old, you can't help it. Shout out to Simple the P and South Park Mexicans. Shout out to both of those gentlemen. Oh, here she goes. She done went into it. This bitch was just easing in. Now she in it. Here we go. Ooh, she making that ugly cry face. Oh, does she got an ugly ass tattoo on her hand? That's unfortunate. When you take her to meet your mama, you can't even tell the bitch to cover up the tattoos because they everywhere. God damn. She can't even pretend. Yikes. What can you do? And if any of my thoughts are watching who have tattoos, that doesn't mean I'm talking about you. Sometimes tattoos look good. I'm not going to lie to you. Carrying on. She ain't got a handkerchief?
Yeah. And face reality because this was not my reality a week ago.
You went on Instagram Live to do this?
Tell y'all. how hard it is because I love so hard. And
Wait, did you go on Instagram Live to wipe snot on the back of your hand in front of everybody? You really, that's what you came on Instagram Live to do? That's amazing. That's truly amazing.
I love harder and harder and harder every time. And this one hurts the most. Because I really thought that I was going to marry this man.
That's so nasty. This bitch damn near poked out her own fucking eye with them long ass eyelash and long ass fingernails. Good Lord. I feel you, bruh. Get your old ass on, man. In a real way. Tell that bitch. What? She is a nut. He said this man quite has no remorse for thoughts. And you know what? I'm just returning the favor because they don't have any remorse for us. It's crazy. Let me just tell you. Actually, I'm not even going to tell this story. I'll probably tell this for the members. You heard me? I ain't even going to tell this story. Y'all mess around and mess my whole stable up fucking with y'all. You dig? Fuck around and mess my stable up. Shout out to Donald. He also copped this fly piece right here, the floral pimping. You dig? He got his floral pimping in his life. Link is in the description. Saints, I'll give you a little bit of time to send in your thoughts, questions, comments, tuition, opinions. That thought was disgusting. She really was. Goodness. Saints, it's been truly a pleasure to have this time to fellowship with you. And I look forward, hopefully, to getting to do a trending news segment. I hear there's some interesting news out in the world. And I thank all of you who have supported the work. And also for the members, we'll be having a great session sometime very soon. It'll be a Google Hangout. Everyone will get a chance to come on camera and talk. We can have a conversation. We're also going to go through some meaningful strategy. It'll be a great one. And these will be skills that you can use over a lifetime. So I invite you all to go through this education and process. It'll be really cool. Peace to the saints.